Who is ready to make some science?
Hey everybody, it's me, DeoGenZ, coming at you with some Pokemon Stars predictions. So this is a new series I've planned to crank out, like maybe one a day, depending on how the response goes to people, until Pokemon Stars actually comes out, because you know what? Speculation is some of the good stuff. I think that, personally, I missed out a little bit on some of the speculation of the Alola region when the 7th gens were just coming out with Sun and Moon. But I did that purposefully so I wasn't going to have any surprises ruined, and I was glad that I did. Because quite frankly, I thought that there were some sort of sick Pokemon experiments going on where you could genetically fuse two Pokemon together. And the thing that gave me that inkling was seeing Professor Kukui there, and in his lab he had a Stuffle, a Snubble, and a Rockruff. I thought you combined a Snubble and a Rockruff and then you get a Stuffle, but you know, it was fun and disproven to myself as the game went along. So now this time around, since I don't actually plan on getting Pokemon Stars, at least not immediately when the Switch comes out, and there's really no confirmation when Stars is coming out, just sometime in 2017. So I figure now would be the best time to hop on that hype train with you all and think about some of the things that we might see in Pokemon Stars. For one, it better be HD. I mean, if only one thing happens from these prediction videos, and not just mine, I'm talking about the entire internet's predictions for Pokemon Stars, I hope it encourages Nintendo to step up their game and see what can be done simply by an emulator. I mean, this kind of quality footage you're seeing of Sun and Moon here is based on Citra, so if Stars isn't looking that good, well, we're gonna have some troubles. But the fun part of this video is talking about possible new Alola forms. So let's discuss in this episode Unova region Alola forms that could possibly come about. There was nothing from the 5th gen. All the Alola forms were pretty much refined to the 1st generation games, but I think, why does it have to be that way? You know, there's plenty of Pokemon that could have made their way over with Trubbish, and Excadrill could be one of them, and a retyping for it could be Ground Fairy, you know, make a counterpart to its Ground Steel and give it the ability Pixelate as some alternative to Sand Rush. I think this would be a perfect opportunity to retype some of the Pokemon from Unova region which just slimly missed out on getting Fairy typing, so you can go back and revamp some of your old favorites like Excadrill was for me. Might give it some new usability, and quite frankly, I don't know why other Pokemon from different regions wouldn't be affected by the Alola region's climate and habitat. I mean, looking at most Pokemon / most animals in life, they change according to their environment. And another Pokemon that could possibly change is this Galvantula. Something we saw a lot of is fire typing coming into play when considering the volcanoes on the island. As seen with Marowak around the Wella Volcano region, it gained a fire typing, and I feel as though Galvantula would be pretty apt to do so too, since it was found in caves in the Unova region. And if it did get to Alola in some form on a ship or some other way, it would have to adapt to the region's fiery cave systems in order to survive. And an ability that might assist it in doing so, Flame Body for physical contact foes, or my favorite ability would be Flash Fire, where you could switch out on an opponent with this Galvantula and actually uptake that fire hit, converting it into power for your Fire Fang. I mean, look at that thing's character design. It definitely has Fire Fang. And now to cover one of my favorite Pokemon in metagame from the Unova region, it's Bisharp. But this time, I think it could follow the way of Salazar in being exclusively feminine, so that if you ever evolved your Pawniard in the Alola region, it would evolve into this awesome looking thing. And it means business, with abilities like Defiant, Inner Focus, and Moxie, specifically highlighting Moxie because Bisharp normally does not have access to this, so I could see it being played heavily into its offensive strategy that it already relies on. Perhaps it could have a bit more bulk with its fairy typing too, as opposed to the male form of Bisharp. But let me know what you guys think below. These are only some predictions and hopes and dreams of mine, is that we can see some other region Pokemon get Alola forms. I'm curious, which region of Pokemon do you think is most deserving of some new forms? Personally, I want to cover the Johto region as well, but we're going to have a bunch of episodes. And if you're curious who has done the art for all these magnificent forms, you're going to want to look on DeviantArt to Locomotive 111. This person is a magnificent artist all props to them, and you can click to find their DeviantArt page in the description. I've been DeoGenZ, coming at you with Pokemon Stars predictions. Make yours below, and let's hope that some of them come true.